So I was requested to make a video by a guy named Ace about how strong GB Dara is, and since I'm like a notorious downplayer of him, I thought maybe I should appreciate him more. So yeah, let's go over how strong GB Dara is. I don't know whether I did this in the past, but I'm just going to be revising a past video, assuming I did it. So yeah, let's start off with his EMS feats. To be able to scale them Jibidara, we need to start off with where he started, which are and where most of his feats come from, which is when he was in EMS. During when he attained his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, after switching his eyes with Izuna, he literally became rivals with Hashirama, being able to beat him up even though Hashirama was in Sage mode. Sage mode and he gives him a physical buff, which is just stacked on top of his healing factor, which is like implied to be above Tsunade's, which grants her basically immortality. And we see at the end of his fight, and when Hashirama is having a conversation with Kurama, we see that he's like all bloodied and bruised. So even with his healing factor, which would allow him to fight longer than Madara, Madara was still able to inflict lasting damage upon him, which would imply that Madara is slightly above, but he doesn't win the fight due to Hashirama's healing factor and higher stamina. So yeah, Hashirama is implied to be the strongest shinobi. I'm pretty sure Madara himself calls him the ultimate shinobi and describes him to be above the five Kage at the time. A is implied or and shown to be at least relative to KCM1 Naruto, and Naruto is just like stated and implied to be like someone who's like a rival to Minato. So like what's this is the Raikage should be at least a rival to Minato. People have loads of contentions with this, trying to say that okay, KCM1 is Minato level, and then KCM1 blitzed the Raikage. You could interpret that as a resolve vamp, but like to be fair, I'm just going to interpret it as a resolve. I'm to keep going with the video. Minato is implied and stated on several occasions to be the fastest shinobi ever, right? He's implied to be like someone who can easily take out Orochimaru, and even Anko states that I wish Minato was here when like Orochimaru was about to invade. Orochimaru is so strong that he takes people like Hiruzen to be a boring pastime while fighting him, implying that he should be holding back while fighting Hiruzen. I will not go and go out. Basically the same thing. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, he should be at least above or relative to Hiruzen as shown when they fight. Now on to why Orochimaru is so strong. Orochimaru scales to the likes of Sagemo Jiraiya, and Jiraiya just shown and like shown to be on par with Pain. You could argue that Pain isn't going all out or Pain isn't at full power, but regardless, he is shown to be at least a threat to Pain. Seeing as Pain like says, "Oh, if he knew my secret, he would have killed me," and it's like Pain was just massively stronger. If or if not, if he knew his secret or not, that wouldn't have stopped anything if Pain was just overwhelmingly stronger. So yeah. Additionally, in the games, which you can take if they are canon or not, is like shaky. There's a statement that says the games are canon. I'll put it on the screen right now. Yeah, it states that the games are canon, and Minato is able to beat up Hiruzen, which is like about 10 years before the events of Part One happen, which would mean that like this Hiruzen is the one that Orochimaru is confident would have bullied him should they have fall. Whether this is like because that Hiruzen was more aggressive, so he wouldn't have held back, assuming you think he held back, or he's just stronger. Take that as you will. But I think he's stronger, so yeah, we'll go with that. So EMS Madara should be just like massively above everyone we seen up until like the war arc. He's also above his Edo version, and Edo Madara is like, even though I think he loses to Wakakashi, he's shown to be at least on par or relative with KCM to Naruto, being able to block him with his gunbai, while you could argue that him being mid-air was like not make him as fast, it really doesn't matter. What the narrative is trying to imply is that okay, again, Naruto has KCM, which is just this mode that allows him to keep up with the likes of Madara. So yeah, EMS Madara should be above his Edo version. You could argue that he's above his alive Rini Tensei version. Though the argument is shaky, you could just say since Madara or since Hashirama states that okay, he's regaining his strength, therefore he doesn't have all of his strength back. And this Madara is stated to be the strongest enemy the Shinobi world has ever seen. Or you could interpret this as oh okay, he's like the greatest threat because there are two differing translations. Whether or not you think the back of the back of like Naruto volumes are canon or not, that's up to you. But personally, since this is a Madara video, I'm going to be assuming it's canon for now. So yeah, that should be it. He's like that statement of him being the strongest should also apply to people like Jubito since this like takes place after the events of the Jubito fight. So whether or not you think he's already stronger than Jubito in EMS is like up to you. But like again, we'll be saying that he is. He then goes on to get the Ten Tails amp, which is shown to be enough of an amp to like for Obito to like start blitzing around Minato. While Minato was in the days and not at full power, this Minato is still incredibly strong, being able stated to have like higher body flicker or better body flicker than Tobirama. People like to argue that okay, this could be chakra consumption and that, but I see no reason it should be chakra consumption since at the time he's talking about it, he's like an Edo Tensei with infinite chakra. So chakra consumption shouldn't really be a problem for him when he's like in Edo Tensei. It could be like, oh, so yeah, I think it should just be speed, especially when it's stated right after his speed feat and Minato appears on the battlefield before they all appear. So yeah, that just proves that like he's fucking alive Madara, EMS Madara should be massively above people like Tobirama. People like to argue that okay, well we see that Tobirama reacts to him. Well you could just argue that again it's in character for Madara to hold back against people who he doesn't consider on the level of Hashirama. Hashirama already considers Naruto on his level in some aspect. I don't know why that just fell down, which is like chakras. So you could argue that that would apply to Naruto, but yeah. Um, so yeah, he goes on to get his Ten Tails amper, and he takes people such as Guy as a joke, constantly laughing while he's fighting Guy. Something he doesn't do while fighting Hashirama. He seems to take on a more serious demeanor against Hashirama. But like that doesn't prove that he's above him or anything. It just like justifies he's holding back. So yeah, for Madara should be comfortably above a gate guy, right? With that while holding back, he shouldn't be able to like block some of his A gate jutsu and stuff. So yeah, he should be on that A gates level, like even while holding back. He then goes on to get one Renegon and absorb the God Tree, which is literally the Ten Tails. So it's just like another Ten Tails app on top of his already massive power. So imagine all of his feet plus another Jubi on top of it, which is absolutely insane when you come to think about it. And then he then goes on to get another Renegon and a Ten Tails amp. I'm pretty sure it's there like somewhere. Like the more Renegon he gets, like the more Ten Tails power he gets or something. I don't know, but if like I find it, I'll be putting it on the screen right now. So yeah, he's actually just crazy strong. He has loads of hacks, such as okay, he's able to put all of the world inside an infinite genjutsu, which you can't break out of unless you have the Rinnegan. Though this is with prep time, Madara should be gapping half of his verse with his raw physical stats alone. So him using like infinite Tsukiyomi is also like a non-factor, as well as the fact that okay, he has like the Shibaku Tensei's and AoE attack. So even if hypothetically you would be faster than him, he still has means of being able to take you out through AoE. Depends how much faster you are than him. So yeah, Madara has some crazy hacks. He has the limbo clones, which I know loads of people like to overrate. They are basically shadow clones that exist in another plane of reality that don't like disperse after one hit. Like they're absolutely broken. If I had those in real life, I'd go crazy. But yeah, they are basically him. They are he's shown a relative to fun Sage's six parts Naruto. While Naruto is learning new abilities and getting stronger, Madara is still shown relative to him, and he's like absolutely no slouch. I'd say he's like Let me think about this really quickly. So Demons Kakashi, Kaguya, Naruto, the Demons Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke, Kaguya, and Sakura. Yeah, I'd say it's like fifth strongest in Naruto. If you want to take Sakura's feat on Kaguya as valid or not, seeing as like she was about to get beaten up by like Kaguya's arm or so. So yeah, fifth if you take that feat as valid, or fourth if you don't take it as valid. So yeah, that's basically it. If you like the video, please remember to like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications, and I in a bit. Thank you Ace for giving me the video idea. I actually never thought of doing this myself, and I thought I was running low. So if you have any more videos you think I should do, then yeah, just drop them in the comments. I in a bit.